Hey man, I'm sitting here today with Robbie Kohler, the world famous Robbie Kohler, or soon to be world famous, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, John. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you very much. Hey, I wanted to say thank you for coming on this with me here today. We've been talking a little bit back and forth. You kind of know what I'm doing and what I want to accomplish here. But I've written and published my second book called "Have the Life You Really Want" instead of the one you're stuck in now. And one of the things I want to do is I want to talk with people who are living those kinds of lives. And you and I have known each other for a couple of years now, probably something like that, maybe a year and a half. I'm not really sure. Um, but you are living the life that you really want to live. There's just absolutely no question about that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I
Okay.
can't disagree with that one.
Cool. Well, Robbie, let's just jump right into it. Kind of, if you don't mind, kind of let me just ask you a broad question, and I have a little bit of a framework that I'll work through with you here. But
Mhm.
but the broad question is this: how did you do that? Because I remember when I first met you, you weren't living that kind of life.
Yeah, I was in a pretty down part of my life when we first met, I think. Um, yeah, I quit my job maybe 10 years ago to play poker full time.
Right.
And that was kind of my first commitment to just being happy first and doing things I wanted to do first. And it was definitely a roller coaster over the last 10 years. A lot of ups and downs, not really knowing how to handle life fully and all the emotions between poker, life, breakups, family stuff, all that. Um, and yeah, I would say a couple of years ago when we first met, that was a real down part of life where I just was pretty lost, wasn't really sure where I wanted to go with poker or other career stuff. Um, and I guess to give the cleanest answer I can on how did I get out of that is I think deep down I always knew it was going to be okay in some capacity.
Yeah.
Kind of always believed in myself, even though like I wasn't where I want to be yet. There was always kind of that voice of hope that like I'm going to get there eventually. Just have to keep finding the right people and finding the right practices. And yeah, I met you through Jason, and that foundation course was a big help. It was a big kick in the butt of just putting me face to face with really where I was. And I think that's the first thing I had to do was really look at my life. I remember a question that kind of pissed me off that you said. It was when was the last time you met yourself? And I remember when you first said that, it was like, geez. I do
Right.
not want to meet myself right now, but that's kind of what that course is about. It's like where are you right now? And
Right.
kind of facing that stuff. And from there is first facing where I am right now, and then and getting really clear on where I want to go and what I want to do. Were kind of the next steps, and then just that idea of willingness and being willing to have all of that, and making that decision over and over again, every day of just I'm willing to have more than what I have right now, and a couple years later, the picture looks a lot different with those things in place, I think.
Yeah, because what are you doing now? And this is a huge deal, by the way, that we're talking about. You've gone from where you were to where you are today, and who knows? I know the future holds great things. I'm so excited for you. I honestly I can't contain it because you're such a cool dude. You're such a good guy, and you're going to do such great things. And you have so much knowledge and so much intuitive knowledge, Robbie. It's not this. It's not head knowledge. It's like you said. You always knew that there was more for you, and you always felt like it was going to be okay. You just had to find the path, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for
So,
sure.
so what are you doing today?
Still playing poker, and I'm loving it more than I ever have. Um, just really embracing all the presence and ups and downs, and letting that whole experience just kind of let myself enjoy it even more because I kind of know how to deal with all that stuff now.
Right.
And now also coaching people on those aspects of presence and mindfulness and emotions. Teaching everything I've learned over the last 10 years is it's been a really great balance with poker. I really enjoy connecting with people and sharing what I've learned in my experience and seeing it help them. And then I also kind of love going into a poker room and wanting to crush everyone at the same time too, So it's kind of it's
Right.
a nice little balance of the two sides of life.
And I'm going to brag on you here for a minute, if that's okay. I'm going to because this is big. This is a big deal because you're not just a coach. you have been endorsed by one of the, if not the premier, I would say, life coach in the country. He bills himself as a poker coach. Jason Su is who we're talking about. I'm one of his clients as well. You know, I've known him for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years now, something like that. I've been working with him for that long. But his practices have changed my life, you know, literally. And I know that that this is exactly what you're doing, but you've been endorsed by him, you know, and he doesn't endorse anybody. I mean, he just does not, you know. So that is a big deal. You know that.
Yeah, it's you know, I've been working with him for almost 3 years now. I agree, very, very much life-changing stuff.
Yeah.
And I tried a lot of different things over, you know, my 10-year poker career. And as soon as I found Jason, things started to really stick. And I was like, all right, this is the stuff I have to stick with, however long it takes.
Right.
You know, 3 years later, this is where we're at.
But it's not just poker, is it?
No, absolutely not. It's all aspects of life, relationships, life, everything.
Yeah. I mean, you seem so much more relaxed now than when I first met you. It's not even it's not even funny, man. I mean, it's awesome. So let's dive into it a little bit. Let me dig into it a little bit with you, right? So I have I'm when I coach people, because obviously I'm a coach as well. I don't coach poker, but I incorporate some of Jason's stuff and some of your stuff into what I do, as well as some of my own stuff. But I've created what I call a vision framework, because it's my opinion, it's my belief. In fact, I know, because I've done it for myself and for others, is that nothing happens without a personal vision, right? If you can't create a personal vision for yourself or for your life, which is what you did or have done over the last 3 years, right? And then be able to execute it, you know, then nothing's going to happen. You're going to stay right where you're just going to get frustrated and irritated. Okay. So in my opinion, in the framework that I've created, it all starts with a dream, right? What was your dream?
I think I really always started with the feeling, or at least learned to start with the feeling of how do I really want to feel moving through life. Because it's easy to put the cart before the horse and trying to decide I want to do these things and then I'll be happy. It's, you know, how do I be happy right now, and let that kind of be the thing that guides all my decisions. Because where I thought my life was going to go a couple of years ago isn't where it is now. It kind of just
Right.
kept changing and kept morphing into, you know, what do I enjoy most and what really excites me going forward. And just continuing to recommit to that over and over is really kind of how I've made the decisions I've made over the last few years.
Cool. Let's talk about that path for a minute, because I find that to be true as well. In my case, is you know, one of the things that I do is I help people discover what their own unique, you know, path is to that vision, or, you know, help them create that vision to the life they really want. But what I found when I did it for myself, and when I've done it for others, and now to hear you say it is very intriguing to me, that it wasn't what I thought it was going to be in the beginning, what I thought it would be in the beginning. Isn't it interesting how it changes like that?
It really is, yeah. And
Go
it's
ahead.
cool that the more you do it, the more you just kind of accept, like, I don't know it's going to look like in 5 years, and that's
Yeah.
okay. I'm just here for, you know, the day-to-day stuff and seeing where it goes.
The change becomes easy, doesn't it? Yeah. I'm a former control freak. I call myself a recovering control freak, you know, so I always wanted to have to control everything in my previous life. And the way I react and the way I respond now compared to back then is just completely different. You know, it's just easy. It's not stressful anymore, you know, which is, in my opinion, all about having the life you really want. So you dreamed it and you knew what you were going to do. Then you talked about wanting it and being willing to have it, right? Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, once I was kind of clear on the feeling, it's the things I wanted sort of began to fall into place. And I think you're kind of like your perception changes a little bit. Instead of trying to figure it out, you're just kind of letting things come to you. And
Yeah.
you and Jason were the first two to suggest to me, or kind of put the idea out there about coaching and helping other people through that journey. And it was maybe something that was like way in the back of my mind, but I hadn't really given it any attention. But, you know, once you guys kind of pushed me in that direction, it was like, oh yeah, like that would feel really nice to be able to do that, right? So it's being open to those ideas as they kind of present themselves in life.
Right. Was it scary
Oh
when you
yeah,
thought? when you
Oh
thought about coaching?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to be real here because this, I mean, living the life you really want to have. I mean, it sounds great and it sounds all, fluffy. And I send them my emails out and I write about cool, I think what are cool stuff anyway. But the whole thing it is scary, but it's scary
Mhm.
in a different kind of way. Would
Mhm.
you agree with that or no?
Absolutely. Yeah. I remember when Jason first sent me over a client, it was so much adrenaline, so much fear of like what the heck is about to start happening.
Right.
And it was I wanted that life to start, materializing, but it was also just like I don't have any idea where this is going to go. I feel so much fear right now, and just being able to use all the tools we've learned and be with that experience and still letting life unfold from that place, and just kind of being able to live on that edge of still feeling all the fear, all the angst, and being able to still move forward in a way that feels good.
That's cool. That's awesome. When we talk about wants, there's in the vision framework that I've created, there's also a process that we go through called like testing. We don't have time to get into all of today. It's in the book, by the way. But I have what I call the 7 realms of life. And what
Mhm.
I encourage people to do is to go through those and write down their wants in each of those areas and then see how it makes them feel. Did you do that with your wants? Did you test them to see if they were
Uh,
genuine, to see if they were real?
yeah, I think generally when I'm thinking about making a decision or thinking about going in a direction, I've learned to really just keep putting that feeling first, and saying, how does it feel to work towards this really? Because that is the journey, right?
Yeah.
It's doing all the work to get there. It's not the end result. So yeah, I've tried to make that the highest priority all the time. Is just how do I want to feel, and are these things making me feel that way?
Did you ever have a want that didn't make you feel the way you wanted to feel?
Um, Definitely. I think in poker, the idea of like trophies and huge success, I thought
Right.
was going to feel different. And then you kind of get into the day to day and you're like, I'm just another guy, it's either I just like to go play, and whatever happens from that point, happens. If I win
Right.
trophies or make a career out of it, that's cool. But it really is just the day to day. Do I want to be here, and am I enjoying doing this? And if I get some accomplishments along the way, that's awesome. But I don't feel like I need them anymore.
Yeah. One of the things I know you coach on a lot, Robbie, is the willingness to have what it is you want, because you've
Mm.
mentioned that a couple of times here just in our talk. Um, to some people, that seems hard to understand because if you want something, why wouldn't you be willing to have it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a frustrating thing when you realize you want something and you're not willing. But it's really like, can I handle the emotional experience that comes with having all that stuff, right? It's all the fear, all the uncertainty. If it's big success, are you okay being more successful than the people around you? Are you okay making more money than the people around you, and having the haters and having all the comments come in and all that stuff, right? That is the whole experience of getting what you want. Sometimes we kind of pigeonhole on like just the thing, and we forget everything else around it that comes with it, and those
Right.
tend to steer us away from it without realizing it. And if we're not willing to have part of that experience, then we're just not going to get it. You don't have to know how it's going to happen to be willing, or uh, know when it's going to happen, or if it's even possible. But it's just, I'm here for it. I'm not going to get in my own way. But
Yeah.
we tend to get in our own way more often than not.
And we do that through the how, when, and why, right? A lot of
Mm,
times.
yeah, getting in our head and
Yeah.
thinking about why do I want this, doesn't really matter.
No, it doesn't really matter. You're exactly right. One of the things that I found useful when I created my own vision was to write it down, and because it helped for me when I write stuff out, it helps clarify it and gives it, just kind of helps breathe life into it. Did you have that experience as well, or not?
Yeah, I wrote plenty of stuff down. I have a little vision board in my room of what I want to feel, what I want to do, any
Cool.
commitments, and that just adds a lot of importance to it. I find my head's bouncing around a lot, so the really important stuff I got to write down, and just so I can always remember it. Just remind myself, say it out loud, write it down. What is it? Rewrite, listen, talk, move was the
Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
So
Rewrote this
that's
and talked about it. Yeah. That's the secret right there.
It really is.
And if people want to know more about that, they can reach out to either of us to find out
Yeah.
what that means.
Yeah.
But also, you mentioned a vision board, and I created a vision board as well, and I've created several vision boards in my career, in my life. But when I don't create vision boards and I figure out what I want, it's just what I want. But when I create a vision board, man, for me, it breathes life into it. It makes it real. Did you find
Yeah.
that too? Obviously,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. Whenever I just try to think about it, it's never as powerful. It's really setting the intention of, I want this. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to look at it. And that really does start to change your perception and your behavior of getting that stuff. It just makes it a lot more real.
Yeah, it does, and it makes it a lot more attainable, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
A lot faster. Then did you speak it out? Because I've always felt like the spoken word is very, very powerful.
Yep. Yeah. Just more and more layers of directing yourself. I think you kind of wrote in your book, it's like 12 to 60,000 thoughts a day, something like that. So it's
something crazy.
Yeah. So you know, if you just let yourself think it, it's just going to be another one of those 60,000 thoughts. You only speak so many of them, and that really can be kind of your compass to where you want to go.
Yeah. And then something we've talked about before that I know really resonates with you and that you do all the time, and that's the one thing concept.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Can you talk about that for just a second?
Yeah, for sure. That's one of my favorite lessons you gave me when you did that foundation course. Yeah, like I just mentioned, my head's always bouncing around all the time. Sometimes organization is not my strong suit. So when I feel stuck, I'll just say one thing out loud and just pick one of the things that I can do right now. And it tends to lead to another thing and tends to lead to another thing. But yeah, anytime I feel stuck or feel like I don't know where to start, just do one thing, because that's a lot more than zero things.
Yeah, exactly. Just it doesn't matter how big or small it is, does it? I mean, it's just whatever it. The idea is not the size of it, the fact that you actually recognize it, acknowledge it, and then do it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then that leads, like you said, to the next thing. Then pretty soon, 3 years later, here we are.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Pretty awesome, man. Pretty awesome. You mentioned that you were developing a website.
Yeah. It's robbiekohler.com.
Okay.
It's live right now.
Okay.
It's like 90% done. I gotta tweak some of the copy on it, but
Okay.
it's first time having a website. It feels pretty cool.
So people know it's www.robbiekohler.com. robbiekohler.com, right?
Correct. Yep, that's
awesome.
it.
That's awesome. That's cool. All right, man. Well, anything else you want to say?
No, this is a great conversation. I'm happy to see you publish a new book. I'm excited for people to read it, and I'm really excited to see where this leads for you, man. Because I know you're going to do some great stuff with it.
Well, I mean, the thing is I know this book is life changing because I've seen it change. I've seen the principles and the concepts and the steps change people's lives, change mine, and as well as people I work with. And just for those of people who don't know, let me just talk about the foundation for just a quick second, if you're okay with that.
For sure.
Because we talked, you agreed to go through that with me in the summer of 2024, I believe, July of 24, and it was a beta test for me. It's the first tier of my coaching program, and it's called the foundation. The next two tiers are called the mezzanine and the penthouse, right? But the foundation is just what it sounds like. It's the foundation for everything. You have to take that first because we build everything off of that. And you beta tested. Did we go through it in like 4 days or something? Because it's like a 6-week course. But I think we through it in like,
I think it might have been 6 over the course of 2 weeks. So I think it was a Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah, we did 3 days a week, didn't we? For 2 weeks. Yeah. So we really accelerated the process, and it was rough, man. I mean, I was you talk about being nervous and being scared and all that. That was me. And the reason that I'd ask people to do it and ask you to do it specifically was I wanted feedback on it, and I wanted to know, what you like, what you didn't like, blah blah blah, all that, which you gave me, obviously. But I find it very interesting and just kind of amazing, to be honest with you, that even through that really rough process, you still took away from it what you did, and it helped get you going again, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, it was an awesome program back then. I'm curious what it is now after you know, all the work you put into it. But yeah, between, you know, there's so much information, so many things to take away. And honestly, your energy was just a huge part of it too, is especially at that point in my life of just having that extra fire in my life was really helpful.
Yeah. Well, Robbie, I'm so proud of you, and I'm so happy for you. This is so cool that you're doing what you're doing. I'm gonna go check your website out too, by the way, buddy. I might be
Awesome.
one of your clients. I might become one of your clients one of these days. You never know. All
There's a
right.
button. There's a button to book a session on there if you want.
All right. And you'll talk with people, right? You'll talk with them up front and kind of have a conversation with them, let them know what's what, and you guys can figure out what you want to do with anything, right?
For sure. Yeah, there's free consult calls right now, so
Cool.
get them while you can.
Awesome. Awesome. www.robbiekohler.com. Go get it. Go see him. Robbie, thanks so much. I appreciate you. Much love,
Thank you,
man.
John. You too, man.
All right.
Talk to
All
you.
right. All right. See ya.